Hello and welcome to UC Today. I'm Senior Editor Tom Wright, and I'm delighted to be joined by Tony from Plivo. Thanks for joining us today.
Hello there. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's great to have you. And we're going to be talking about digital customer engagement today, particularly around SMS and 10-digit long code, which is sort of a new industry standard. So to kick us off, could you talk us through what 10DLC is, where it's come from, and what it means for the industry?
Sure. 10DLC, like you mentioned, stands for 10-digit long code. It's a U.S. Telecom carrier-led solution to improving application-to-person texting. 10DLC addresses two main issues. It addresses spam, and it addresses the low throughput messaging that the traditional long code offered. So even before COVID, text messaging was quickly becoming the preferred method of communication for many consumers. COVID really sort of accelerated the popularity and really the necessity of businesses using text messages to reach their consumers. But like every other form of communication, spam becomes a major problem. So on top of nuisance texts and quite a lot of nuisance texts for consumers, the long code format wasn't designed for businesses to reach thousands of customers per minute, what we call throughput. It was really designed for person-to-person texting, so friends and family, can quickly communicate with each other. And so the carriers came up with a solution to not only reduce spam, but to allow businesses a higher volume of throughput for text messaging in A2P.
Okay, so there's a few kind of key components to this. And I wonder if you could talk through some of the benefits that 10DLC brings, particularly compared to kind of other methods of messaging.
Sure. So when it comes to application-to-person texting, you have three options. There's three different kinds of numbers you can use. There's short code, there's toll-free, and there's 10DLC. Now, each of these have their pros and cons, and each of these are best suited for certain use cases. Short codes are 5 to 6 digit codes, and these have the least amount of filtering by the carriers. And they also have the highest throughput, but they're also the most expensive to rent on a monthly basis. And they also take the longest to get approved. Approval for a short code can take months. But if you know your target audience well, you have a large target audience that you need to reach very quickly, then short codes are perfect. Cost not an issue, right? So short codes. Now, toll-free has a lower throughput than short codes, but it also offers voice capabilities. So you're going to be able to text and call your customers, interact with your customers through voice and messaging. So these are great for mid to large scale engagements, right? But they're still not great if you want to reach a local audience, if you want to get really personalized with a local audience. So 10DLC actually can offer a higher throughput than toll-free numbers, and 10DLC still has voice capabilities. And 10DLC are just 10-digit numbers, just a regular phone number. But the trick is to register your company and your use cases before you start using your numbers. The mobile network, those operators will pre-approve your brand and your campaigns. And since you told them how you're using your numbers, you are going to be filtered out much less, if at all, and you're going to have a higher throughput. Now, you're still not going to have the throughput of short codes, but you can have a higher throughput than, say, toll-free numbers. Now, another advantage of 10DLC is you can provision local area codes instantly. So you can establish a more personalized connection with your audience. And the monthly rentals are minuscule, are almost nothing especially compared to short codes. Now you may pay a fraction of a cent higher per message, but you're going to save so much in monthly fees. Plus, you're going to have 10DLC up running in less than a week. So these 10-digit short codes are really great for small to mid-size engagements, but they can be used for just about any engagement you need.
Okay, so there are some real clear benefits there, but there are also some things for businesses to think about around compliance and potentially some penalties if they don't quite get things right there. So could you talk through what they need to be thinking about when it comes to that side of things?
Yeah, absolutely. So businesses need to understand that compliance is crucial when it comes to 10DLC. Compliance is the only way that businesses are going to reach their customers So if you're not compliant, your messages are going to be filtered out and they're not going to be delivered, period, right? So your customer experience is going to go down. You could potentially lose revenue. So compliance is key. So to become compliant, that means registering your brand and your campaigns through either the independent registry called the campaign registry, or working with your SMS provider to get registered as well. So think of your brand as letting the providers know who you are, the name of your company, who your customers know you by, right? Now, a campaign describes the kind of messages that you're sending. So one-time passwords for two-factor authentication, account notifications, fraud alerts, customer care. So now, if you try sending messages that are not in line with what you say they are, that's where there's going to be issues. So you could potentially be fined. You're going to be filtered at a higher level, and ultimately you could be banned. And so, the carriers are really looking out for their customers and trying hard to reduce spam and scams. And so the punishments are going to be quite severe. So compliance is key to reaching your customers.
Yeah, so if we wrap all this up, there's a lot to think about. There's some real benefits, and as you said there, some quite severe implications for getting this wrong. So could you talk through how you all at Plivo are making sure that your customers are ready for these changes?
Sure. Well, I'll say 10DLC has not been an easy rollout. Everybody in the industry, I think, can pretty much agree on that. The carriers have changed dates, they've changed requirements, they're still evaluating and still changing and adding penalties. But at Plivo, we are staying on top of everything 10DLC at the carrier level, and we're passing that expertise on to our customers. Our product and our customer support experts have in-depth knowledge of 10DLC because we work so closely with the carriers. So we're going to be able to guide you through the implementation process, the registration process. We have that knowledge, right? Like, we're the experts. We're here to help you in any way we can. Our top priority is making sure our customers reach their customers, right? And the only way to do that with 10DLC is to have great carrier relationships and to know and have a team of experts that knows the intricacies of 10DLC inside and out.
Yeah, there's certainly a lot going on there, and I hope, Tony, we can speak out to you as this kind of progresses. But in the meantime, thank you so much for joining us and talking us through that.
Thank you. I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, it's been great having you, and thank you everyone for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a quick like and a share on social media, and we'll see you next time.